In case this is your first Airgun Leshiy channel video, or you're the type who needs a little bit of a reminder, this is a pest control video. I'm not randomly dispatching critters in the woods. I'm controlling the population levels of a nuisance animal around my home where they have destroyed my house and property. For safety reasons, I can't be shooting up into the trees. So I built this table for one using this large oak tree as a safe backstop, along with some peanuts, which buys me enough time to send some lead downrange using suppressed air guns like you're seeing in this video. Hopefully that clears things up and or provides the context you needed before these next few shots. Things escalated rather quickly with the Tannerite pellets, but let's go back to day one, when they first arrived in 22 cal, and I had no clue that these things would take the BB gun internet by storm. Now, before we go any further, we all have established that I hate tree rats, more than the average human, but a humane dispatch is always my goal. So before any fur was gonna fly, I needed to do some testing, and not just on a target. I think I got just the thing for that. These are 20 grain pellets by themselves, so going about 805 feet per second. So that's plenty of power in their own right for small game. But with the boom, add to the energy dump. So what I saw made me think 100% yes. The wound channel goes all the way through, so it's a clean pass through. But right within that first inch, that explosion created what looks like quite a large pocket there. So this science experiment definitely gave me the confidence that the pellet was accurate enough and it was producing more than 2x the energy needed for a squirrel, and I felt confident that this was going to work out and be a quick little dirt nap. What I didn't know though, how would it react with a headshot where it would immediately hit bone? Only one way to find out, guys. This first one came down a tree and I wasted no time. Honestly, all I can say was about this shot was I was completely unprepared for how loud a headshot was going to be with these things. Holy shit. I was so caught off guard. I had no idea if that first shot was clean or not, so I decided to send another one into it just in case. While still pretty loud, the shot to the vitals was definitely quieter. Kind of similar to the ballistic gel one, as I think the explosion was happening just inside versus the headshot, it was right at the skull, so it was just so much louder. It wasn't until I got downrange until I realized how destructive this pellet is. Oof. Now that is quite the hole. That's a hollow point though, so I'm not sure if the boom did anything. You know what? I think we need some more testing. A few weeks later, I got this video sent to me in a text. Hundreds of boxes of 25 cals have arrived. These have about 2x the amount of boom juice in them, so let's see how that translates to fur. As always, let me slip into my lab coat here and get these safety glasses on, because class is now in session. These things are incredibly loud at impact, so I definitely deploy the good enough for government work when I zero this thing in my backyard. But I dial it in here as we go, and as you'll see, it doesn't really matter because these things go mega boom. Here it comes. Oh, man. Now that shot looked a little bit low, but it still anchored this one, as if we watch it again here, in slow motion, you'll see after it goes a little bit low, although I still think that's a kill shot, it went full frontal and it went through his chest, all the organs, right out his brown eye. Today, we got our lab coat, safety glasses, and a fire extinguisher ready as something crazy arrived in the mail from my good buddy Brian over at Airgun West. Some 9mm Tannerite Slugs. In this first shot here in my basement range, that'll help explain the fire extinguisher, because yeah, these things not only go mega boom, but they bring the heat. The next morning, it was good enough for government work, kind of zeroing again, as these things are just crazy loud. So we got a couple that were close enough, and then off we go as we continue our educational series on the effectiveness of ammo that goes, in this case, mega boom. This first one went a little high, but holy moly was that loud. And from my vantage point, in real time at least, it looked like it even started to cook this thing. And we'll definitely see it in slow-mo here on the way down. Look at this. Oh, look at the smoke coming out of this thing. That hole is just ginormous. These 9mm things are just no joke. That was a catch, clean, and semi-cook. I think it's about medium rare, I guess, on the inside. Look at it, it's just smoking. It's hard to really explain just how loud these are on impact, but I can pretty comfortably say this. This is probably going to be a one-time vid for my yard, as a safe backstop is critical no matter what, but that's not really my concern here. These things are like 4th of July kind of boom. And with these small mics on the GoPros, it's just not going to do it justice, but you can still kind of tell. Oh. And from an educational perspective, though, if you're looking to see how effective these are just as an ammo-wise, yeah, incredibly effective. I don't think it gets much more humane than that, and that shot was pretty dang low. When they're quartering like this, I like to use the eye as a point of aim, as it's the path of least resistance to the off switch, the brain. So these slugs seem to actually penetrate a little bit deeper before exploding than the pellets do, which is why I think you're seeing this smoke just pour out right here, especially. You'll see it. See how that just continues to pour out? It's crazy, but I think that's what's happening. Another off switch on a squirrel for a point of aim perspective is right at the base of the skull where the spine connects to the brain. If you hit this, the squirrel just locks up and it just freezes in time. And you'll notice when it hits the ground, there's zero shaking. It's because you're disrupting the ability from the nerves to get to the brain and telling it to shake a little bit. And that's exactly what's happening here. Gonna turn that black and white to YouTube doesn't like that red color very much, but watch as it hits the ground here and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. See, zero movement. The other way to get to that spot is a headshot like this one, where you go from forehead through the brain and then you sever that connection at the base of the skull. Now this one gets a little graphic, so we're gonna have to use that black and white a couple of times, I think, here. Now, initially, it's kind of quartering to me a little bit, but I give it that little Leshiy kiss that looks right at me, and I send it. You can see how this was a delayed boom as well. And with that, if you're questioning the added power of these things, quite a bit more comes out of this than smoke. Watch this. Now, is that coming out because of, you got an 83 grain piece of lead going through the brain? Yeah, maybe, but I don't know, man. That boom, I think it's doing some extra.
This big bull thinks you want to watch this video next. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe button on your way out, too.